Hi everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I wanted to pop on and talk about adrenal fatigue really quick. I am not in my normal video space because my daughter is using my whiteboard to do her homework. So she's got the whole thing kind of laid out there. So I was like, well, I wanted to talk about adrenal fatigue and address that issue. And talk about a few things with adrenal fatigue and the importance about dealing with it. This is something we're going to be focusing on in the next challenge group that I'm starting on May 1st, so it's coming up. If you are interested, you can click the link Learn More, and if you would like a 25% off coupon, just message me privately, and I will send you that coupon code. Yay! So a few things also about this is that if you find this information helpful, if you could click the share button, I would really appreciate it. Not enough people know about adrenal fatigue, how it feels, how to deal with it, and one of the most important things is timing. Timing is really essential to focus on because timing for adrenal fatigue is very different than covering other issues. So just to start off, I've been through rounds of adrenal fatigue in my life, and there can be, oh, hi, Kate. You're hiding from your class right now? Does that mean you're not in class, Kate? Hashtag Year of Kate being a rebel right now. I like it. Anyway, so when we're talking about adrenal fatigue, a lot of times people, okay, what are your adrenals? Your adrenals are on top of your kidneys. So I'm just this is, oftentimes people feel like really fatigued, really run down, have a hard time getting going. One little test that you can do on yourself, and this is something where you, so this is my really cool tank top that I wore today when I worked out, which means I haven't showered yet. It's okay, I'm not that smelly. Okay. So here's my rib cage right here, right? This is the end of my rib cage. Just below that, so above my belly button, below my rib cage, there's these 2 points here where you can kind of just poke in your stomach. And if that is sore, so right off the edge of your rib cage here, that soft, squishy part in your stomach, it's not going to feel good because you're jabbing in your stomach. But if you feel like a sharpness, you may be having some adrenal issues. That's just a trigger point, an acupressure point, acupuncture point for adrenals, where you can stimulate that and understand that, okay, this here, if I poke right in here in my stomach, this might be a sore, not just sore, sharp, stabby kind of pain. Then there's an issue with your adrenals to kind of ask about, address, that type of a thing. A lot of women I talk to when they work on, what did you say, Kate? You just left for class for a little bit? Oh, okay. Little break from class. Oh, thanks, Katie. Yeah, I love a tank up, right? On Wednesdays we work out. Yes, we do. So with adrenals, one of the things that when I've chatted with women about adrenal issues is that sometimes you have felt tired, felt like I'm eating healthy, I'm doing all these things, but I'm so tired and this isn't happening for me. What am I doing wrong? I feel like I'm crazy. Or you even go to the doctor and say, I'm really tired. And they're like, maybe you just need better sleep. And you're like, oh, that's not it. There's something else going on with me. And it could be your adrenals. Your adrenals get really taxed when you're under a lot of stress for a long period of time. So for anybody that's been through an extensive school program and had to study for finals or boards or whatever, I mean, that's just one example of some type of stress like that can totally wipe out your adrenals. A death of a family member or some type of other emotional trauma can be really, really stressful and cause your body to release a lot of stress hormone cortisol, which then you have to deal with, and then will just totally crap out your adrenals. That's the technical word for it. Your adrenals crap out. So how do you deal with that? So one is recognizing that this might be me and I might need to address this. Also know that this takes time, and I'll talk about that in the last piece of it. But here's some key points to kind of go through. I'm trying to get this on there. One is, of course, protein. I talk about protein a ton. Protein's super important, but you need to increase your protein by at least 20 to 30 grams a day. Your body needs extra nutrients. That extra cortisol is going to be wanting to turn some of that protein into sugar stored in fat cells. So you need to override that system by upping your protein by at least that amount every day. So sometimes it's an extra shake, or an extra protein serving. I just shared in some of my Facebook groups that I have going, this great protein boosting recipe. It's got 35 grams of protein. If you want to be added to one of these groups that I have, healthy lifestyle stuff, we post recipes, we post other ideas. Again, you can just message me and be like, hey, I want it in the group. I want these other little fun recipes. I mean, I do share recipes on my public page, but there's even more stuff that I put in these other groups. And then my friends do too. because I have friends that love health and nutrition and stuff, so they post these great things in there. Anyway, so it's essentially, it's like Greek yogurt, and you put in some protein powder, and you can put some fruit on top. Great way to get like a little high protein smoothie bowl thing going where you're going to get extra protein in for your day. Boom. Protein, important. Yes. Okay. Second thing here, sleep. Sleep. Your body needs to rest. So it's very important that you have a regular sleep routine and that you're really making an effort for it. If you have kids or there's other things going on in your life, it's really tough to do that. But know that that overall regular sleep is going to play a big role in how well you can recover from adrenal issues. If you're not sleeping well, then there's other things to address there. So if you're like, oh, I really can't sleep, or I'm not falling asleep or staying asleep, then message me and I can give you some other pointers there, because that's a whole nother video. But the other thing about the sleep issue too is that this is huge. No screens at least 30 minutes before bed. And I know sometimes people almost get addicted to their phone. I was just chatting with somebody the other day, and she was talking about addictions, and she's a hilarious gal, comedian, so you should follow her if you're not following her already. Wendy Mayberry, and she was talking about addiction in terms of there's things that are acceptable and not acceptable. And she was like, yeah, well, you know, people go through on Facebook and they're like, oh, that's nice. And so you get this like constant positive feedback with it. So you sort of get addicted to it, especially if you're going to bed at night and you're like, oh, I've had a rough day. I need something positive. And that positive feedback, I'm going to go through my Facebook. Don't like, just kidding. But that becomes sort of an addictive habit. But having that screen before bedtime actually can have that light source. And sometimes people think, oh, well, I have it on a night screen or things like that. A TV or any type of excess light source in your field of vision disrupts how well you can sleep. Mel, right? Yeah, Mel, you like my tank top too. Oh, I know, right? Sporting the tank top. Okay. So sleep is really important, that type of a thing. Oh, I just got some stuff on my paper. You guys don't mind, do you? Because my other kid was just sitting here where I'm sitting, so of course there's a mess here. Okay, adrenal fatigue. Then the next thing to talk about here is that there's different phases of it. There's up and down. So I drew this little graph. I'm not an artist, or I didn't take a lot of art classes, but I can draw graphs like no other. So as you see, this up and down pattern of adrenal fatigue as your body heals. This is not a linear pattern of improvement. This is, it's not a straight line. You might feel better. You can see it. I don't know how to see. I wish I had my whiteboard, but my kid's using it. Wait, where am I going? Where am I going? Okay, here. Oh, look, I'm feeling better. And then I'm going to try and do this better here. Okay, there we go. I'm feeling a little bit better. Then, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm almost worse off now. Oh, what's happening? And then all of a sudden you'll feel a lot better and be like, woo, I'm on top of the world. And then be like, oh, I feel worse again. And it goes on and on until you feel like you come out of it. Now, this entire pattern can last months. It can be months, sometimes almost a year or more. So don't be surprised, depending on how bad your case is, or depending on how trashed your adrenals are and how long this takes to recover. But it's never just like, oh, look, I'm getting better and here I go. It's like, oh, I feel good and I'm doing good for like a week or two. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, I need rest. I need extra rest. I can't get through my workouts the same. I feel like junk. Maybe I'm coming down with something. Do I have a sore throat? Oh, what's happening? Am I getting headaches? It's not those things. It's just that your body needs another reset time. And then it can take it to the next level. So know that your body is in a healing process and a healing cycle, and it will get better. It just takes time to get there. So that's the other thing people get really impatient about, or they forget about, or they'll think, oh, that happened 3 months ago. I should be over this by now. Not necessarily. Your body may need that excess time to really, really improve the health overall and get over this. So these are things, this is just like kind of tip of the iceberg for adrenals. Adrenals are a whole nother bear to wrestle with. Not that you would wrestle bears, but I'm just saying, a whole nother bear to wrestle with. So it's really important that you get a ton more information on this. Oh, here she comes now upstairs. Oh, are you done with all the homework?
Freedom has rise upon us.
Freedom, now that she's done with her homework. Oh my God, she's in 3rd grade. Does this get better? I don't know. So anyway, I do. Thank you. Now I have to finish and check the homework. So great. So that's adrenals. going through adrenal fatigue, really working on healing, giving your body time, and really feeding it the right nutrition to really get over some of the issues, to come out of those slumps as quickly as possible. It's tough to really be in that down slump and stay there, because a lot of times you're thinking, oh, this isn't getting better, and I'm not going to get better. And then you sort of spiral out of control, really let your nutrition go. Whereas there's some specific things to be like, okay, I'm struggling right now. This week has been tough. I'm really tired. I'm not feeling myself. What are the things that I can do and really tighten up on to come out of this even quicker? And there's some great tactics that I've got in the challenge group that I'm going to be talking about as we go through it. So if you need more information on this, then the challenge group is going to be a fantastic thing for you to join and get all this info and really get these tactics down to help you through this. Because again, it takes time, and you're going to want these things in your back pocket for when you need them. All right, that's what I got for you guys tonight. And everybody have a great Wednesday. Right? It's Wednesday. I'm wearing a shirt that says Wednesday. Everybody have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.